Hello people, my name is Rage and welcome one and all to the return of the gloriousness that is Don't Question It, now that I have finished uni with mystical hands of mysticism. Don't know why the hands are of mysticism, but I have been able to revivate this Revive. Why did I make up a word for the... What? Like, no, it's not even like it needed it. There's a word for revive, but revivate is so much more delectable, so don't question. Just don't question my face, okay? Good. There, mini Rage. It's okay. It's okay. So, Don't Question It, the show where you email in your questions on anything, from me to games to serious stuff, literally anything. I am a question whore. I will take anything. That makes sense. But yes, if you're wondering where Don't Question has been, by the way, Don't Question It. Oh! Double finger point. Oh, I have missed being able to see me on... I don't even care that this intro, before we even get to the first question, is taking ages, because it's part of the bloody entertainment. The bloody entertainment! Could I have done that? Could I have done that more British? I don't know why I went slightly foreign. Could I have done that more British? Probably. No. I've just missed being able to see myself on camera, because I don't own any mirrors, so I have no idea what I was looking like or why I'm going forward again, but it's alright. Let's begin with the first question for today, before I just spend 15 minutes having fun in front of a camera, which I could totally make into a show, because I'm Scottish now. I'll just start the first question. Dear Rage, true or false, on a scale of 1 to 10, a good classic scale there. Scale, English scale, failure, it's fine. What is your favourite colour in the alphabet? Well, my friend, the answer to that is simple. It is... Wombat. The second question that has come into the show today is... And we're going to get a little bit more serious now. What is your opinion on YouTube buying Twitch? Well, first of all, it's just a rumour, and secondly, I have mixed bags. I have mixed bags. I have two bags full of very mixed things. No, initially it is kind of a call for, oh my god, panic, we are fucked, streaming is dead, the world is over, what the hell, god damn it, evil tyrant YouTube overlord, but... when you think more about it, it does come with some pros and cons. The biggest con that everyone obviously knows is that if YouTube's copyright policies end up being transferred to Twitch, then a lot of streamers are going to be in a lot of trouble, because Twitch, for the most part, is kind of getting away with a lot of copyright stuff. It has its fair share to deal with, but nowhere near compared to the amount that YouTube has to deal with. So that's one of the bad things. But one of the good things, and there are a few, is that if YouTube goes over to Twitch, well, it becomes owner of Twitch, and Twitch, therefore, is part of the YouTube and Google, etc., then that would mean that hopefully the good features on YouTube would transfer to Twitch, and the good features on Twitch would go to YouTube, and then both things would be better as a result, which obviously would be a win-win, such as things like, for example, the ability to subscribe to someone's Twitch channel. If you could subscribe to someone's YouTube channel, and in return that disabled ads on all their videos, so it encouraged supporting your YouTubers in that way, instead of being a destructive adblock user. And I don't blame any of you for using adblock. Adverts are annoying. Unfortunately, it's how we're required to make our living, and it's kind of an evil situation. But if Twitch, the subscriber system, was to come to YouTube, instead of something like an adblock watching ads revenue type model, you could subscribe to your favourite YouTubers, have ads completely disabled. That way, it's a win-win for both you and the content creator, and little features like that would be nice. As well as on Twitch itself, features from YouTube would be lovely, like with YouTube streaming. While YouTube streaming is a terrible system, it does have the odd neat thing, like being able to rewind a live stream and watch something that just happened, so that would be kind of nice to be able to do on an actual Twitch stream. It's really not as, oh my god, panic as you think. As long as YouTube isn't doing it aggressively to force people into their version of streaming, which they really wouldn't do because that's kind of shooting themselves in the foot. They may own the biggest video platform and make holds amount of money, but there is still going to be horrendous backlash if they screw this up. And they are a business. They're going to make the sensible business decisions, and they're doing this probably for what we will mostly see as good reasons. There will undoubtedly be stuff we're going to complain at, but I think on the whole, it's not as crisis, streaming is over type deal as a lot of people seem to think it is. The best case scenario, Twitch gets some cool YouTube features, YouTube gets some cool Twitch features, people still use Twitch to stream as it is the superior service, and people still make videos on YouTube. Everything should still stay pretty much as it is. I don't see any radical changes happening as a result of this potential, it's still a rumor, remember, acquisition of Twitch by YouTube. So that's the best way to look at it. I could go into more detail with more reasons, but as a brief statement, it's potentially kind of disastrous, but more realistically, there's going to be a lot of pros and cons, and I would say, slightly optimistically, there would be more pros to this than there would be cons. Okie dokie, the next question that we are going to be tackling today is... I bet other people will ask this too, but how does it feel to have finished uni? What are your plans for the future? Now, and what are you going to die? What? Oh no, what are you... And when are you going to die? Okay, goddamn! What are you going to do? Also, about the game you made for uni, will you be making videos on it? And will we be able to get our hands on it? By the way, I should probably point out at this stage, the reason I'm not saying people's names is because people don't like having their real names shouted out in videos. So unless you've left an alias at the bottom of your email question, I'm just going to read your question and not say any part of your name, because I think that's more sensible, so that's why. So now that I finished uni, the way, as you can tell, I'm speechless. The weight lifted off the shoulders is just, it's amazing. It really, really is. But I also really enjoyed my time there, and in some ways, I will miss it. I really will. It was a wonderful 3 years of my life, and I will probably remember it for a long time until I go senile. But that said, it is lovely to have the stress of deadlines and the constant work be lifted, so I can now focus, and this is the answer to part 2 of this question, I can focus on YouTube and make better videos more often, and just generally give it my all, as opposed to giving it my minimum, which I was forced into doing. As opposed to what I'm wanting to do outside of YouTube, I want to kind of get a team from the people from uni and start making indie games as an indie development team, because I think that would be quite good fun to do. But obviously they don't have the luxury of having a established income source and business like I do with YouTube, so they kind of have to get a job and apply for things. They don't have the luxury of being able to form a team and start working on indie stuff, but I'm hoping I can convince them to give it a shot while they work the part-time jobs at supermarkets they will undoubtedly have to get while they find a job in the games industry, and you never know, big things could happen from it. So that's the general plan. Focus on YouTube, but try and get some sort of indie development going on the side. Yes, indeed. The game that we made for uni, I'm going to be doing a video on it once it is fully complete, yes indeed. That should happen in about 3 weeks, because that's when development will fully stop on it. And yes, you guys will be able to get your hands on it. I'm not sure how I will distribute it yet, but I almost certainly will. So look forward to that, yes indeed. Next up for the show, we have, first of all, Happy. You are bringing this back now tonight. Me too, me too. Would you still do YouTube if you didn't get paid for it? Well, this ties into a little bit of what I said with the last question. Yes, it is a business for me, and it is my sole income. I am just trying my best to get by doing it because it's what I love doing, making you guys happy with the content and being able to do it for a living is just, it really is awesome. It really, really is. But that said, if I suddenly couldn't earn any money from it, obviously I couldn't put as much time and effort into it, but I would never ever stop. I've always said this, I love doing it. Being able to live off it, all it means is that I can do it more and therefore make it better for you. Basically, YouTube is a perfect business model in a lot of respects, because the better I do, the better content I make, the happier I make you guys, the better YouTuber I be, the more I get out of it. So it's a win-win situation, because the better I make things for you, then the better I make things for me. So it encourages active growth in a way that's really healthy for both consumer and me, and that is really fantastic. But that's just a little aside that I feel like saying there. Don't even know how that tangent happened. But yes, I would always do videos if I wasn't getting paid for them, simply because I love it too much. Seeing your comments, talking with loads of you guys, the streaming and stuff, it is way too much fun and way too rewarding to pass up. It really, really is. Having people like everyone watching this right now actually give a damn to tune in to stuff that I have done, that is a really, really heartwarming thing. So if you're watching this right now, give yourselves a cookie, a pat on the back, and a punch to the wall for being just generally awesome. And you are awesome simply for clicking, watching, and listening to me say this sentence right now, because it doesn't seem like a lot, but to me, it really is a rewarding and gratifying experience. So I realised I went a little bit off topic there, but the answer to the main question, yes, I would always make videos. All that would change is the rate at which I would produce them, because obviously if I had a full 9-to-5 job, which I would have to get if this wasn't viable, would mean that I couldn't spend that much time focusing on YouTube, which would be a shame. But there you go, very long convoluted way, it got answered. I've missed doing this. I really have missed doing this. Hi Rage, do you enjoy watching esports? Yes. If so, what games do you like watching and which teams do you support? What makes esports enjoyable for you? Hope you're doing well. Unwise Sensei. You do not be a sensei. If you are unwise, your name is lying to me, Aro! I'm sorry. I couldn't, I'm sorry. God. What was I say? Oh yeah, so esports. I love esports. I watch Dota 2, and I used to watch StarCraft loads, but then I also watch Hearthstone. So Dota 2, StarCraft, Hearthstone, Dota 2, Hearthstone, StarCraft in that order of watching, if that makes sense. I don't know why I said it in such a convoluted manner, but I did. Good. And esports is enjoyable because, actually I'm going to draw comparisons to football here. I enjoy esports because I play the games that I watch. The reason I stopped liking StarCraft to watch as much, even though I kind of still do, is because I stopped playing it. I play Hearthstone and Dota 2 a lot. So when I see professionals do stuff, I can really get behind their plays and understand it and aspire to be that good. And I have that proper connection with it. It's the same for people who watch football. They play football, they understand the rules, they get behind it, they have their teams. So when someone kills a hero on Dota, I get the same yes feeling that someone gets when their team scores in football. And it's quite remarkable just how comparable the sort of esports and proper sports, if you're going to be an ignorant person, are when you look at the actual effect they have on viewers and participants. So that's why they are enjoyable to me. I support Navi when it comes to Dota. Original, I know, but I just think Dendi is life, honestly. He's just the best. And not even because he's the best player, which he totally is, but he's just such a cool guy and such a nice person from his streams and the stuff that he does. So that's why I support the team that he is on. If he changed team, I would probably change who I support. It's the people on Navi that I support, not the name Navi, if that makes more sense. In Hearthstone, I don't really support that many people in Hearthstone, in fact no one at all, because being good at Hearthstone is a lot less impressive than being good at something like Dota, StarCraft, or even COD. A good COD player is more impressive than a good Hearthstone player, because Hearthstone has such a... I guess maybe that's not fair to say, because what I'm going with is that Hearthstone has such a low skill cap, it's not hard to reach the skill cap. Any professional player, and anyone probably rank 5 or above, can look at a board, can look at a hand of cards, and make the best play with the information given. 9 out of 10 times they will make the perfect play. And there's not really that much skill difference between someone kicking around at rank 1 and someone playing professionally in pro tournaments. So that's why I don't really get into the professional players that much. I just kind of like watching Hearthstone, if that makes sense. Maybe it's a little bit cynical of me. I just think that professional Hearthstone players aren't all that. It's mainly a personality thing more than a whoa, that guy is brilliant, we need him as a pro player, like it is in Dota and StarCraft. Although they do have their fair share of personality stuff, you see what I'm kind of saying. I'll probably elaborate more on everything in another video, or if I get asked that specifically next, don't question it. Don't get me wrong, it's not like I dislike the professional players or anything, or the scene, I love it, it's great. I just don't think there is, like, whoa, did you see that play this professional Hearthstone player did? It was incredible, like you get with Dota and StarCraft, because at the end of the day, he used cards in the right order. I know how to use cards in the right order. He's a professional player because he got his break, and that's good on him, but it could happen to anyone in Legend Ranked. I don't believe any professional is inherently better as a player than any unnamed person who is playing in Legend Ranked. That's the way I kind of see it. But yes, there, esports. Done. Next question. We've still got 7 more. Just buckle in, guys. Get some popcorn, but the others are going to be fairly easy to answer, to be fair. What is the daily limit for you in terms of tentacles? Well, my friend, the thing is, there is no limit! So the next question that we are going to talk about is, to Rage, what peripherals do you have for your computer? Keyboard, mouse, etc., and would you recommend them? Yes, I would heartily recommend having a keyboard and mouse to use your computer, otherwise it's quite difficult to interact with. So there you go. I don't know what you mean, but I couldn't resist. Next question, from Captain Fluke. So, Fluke, welcome to the show, okay. And he says, do you want to build a snowman? It doesn't have to be a snowman. Well, my reply to you is, go away, Flanner. Okay, so the next question that we're going to be doing is, and this is a sneaky bastard with more than one sneaky bastard. Well, that was intense. I like that. That's good. What is something you do in your free time other than internet or gaming in general? We'll cut that. We will cut that. We will cut that out. We'll cut that out. It's fine. We'll cut that out. Well, if you watch Godzilla yet? No. Not yet. It does look good though. I do want to watch it. Current shows you're watching. Anime. Lot of anime. Not going to rattle that list off. We'll save anime for when it gets asked, because it undoubtedly will. And Game of Thrones, but that's mainly out of interest because I've read it, so I know what happens. And the latest episode was awesome, and I cannot wait for you people to see what happens next episode. We don't know why I said it like that. It's okay. It's okay. Anyway, what's next? Is Alia still even alive? She is. I would go get her, but she's ill at the moment. She's not necessarily ill, but I took her to the vets the other day because she's not been eating recently. So what I have to do, and I'm sorry, there may be some footage in the background now, depending of if it captured okay, and it may not be the best if you're a little bit squeamish, but I have to get a syringe thing and kind of half forcibly feed her this mixture to get her eating again, so that's fun. So I don't want to disturb her as much as possible because she's not very happy about it. She gets a little bit angry, and when she's angry, she bites me. Yay! Nah, but it's fun having a lizard. And next up is potatoes. Yes, potatoes are fine. They're a fine source of food. Next up, dear Rage. What? Oh, I'm not. What? I'm not. Aww. Serious question. What do you like about The Walking Dead? Would you recommend it to first-time gamers or it's for more serious gamers? The Walking Dead. I love it, and I like most the actual story, the care. Very few games get you to care as much about stuff as you do in The Walking Dead, but granted, that's mainly because it's effectively an interactive TV show, so it is able English. I can't English. So it is able to do story stuff a lot better, and I would recommend it to anyone who's not really got into gaming, because it's so light on the game aspects that it's probably quite a good beginner hook, as long as they're fine with the more mature themes and the kind of dark storyline, which a lot of people tend to be. I think it's a really good way to get people into gaming just because of the nature of it. It's like 90% story, 10% game. Next up we have, what are your thoughts on Alpha Ruby and Omega Sapphire? The Pokemon remake's coming out in November. My thoughts are... I'm so excited! Okay, so next question is not, but seriously, it's going to be awesome. I'm going to get Alpha Ruby and have my Blaziken once again, although Infernape's still better than every other Pokemon. Hey Rage, you asked for a question, so here is one. Okay, thank you. Hollow was in a pretty big depression, but were you in one? If so, how far did you ever get to wanting to commit suicide? Pretty serious, I'm sorry for that. Don't be sorry for serious questions, I enjoy serious questions. I like to mix it up in this show, so by all means, ask serious questions. Hollow is always depressed because he's a depressing person. No, he's not really. He'll watch this and he'll get mad at you. So disclaimer, okay, he's sometimes neutral. I can't. Even when disclaiming, I can't bring myself to not have a little jibe. Yeah. Hi, Hollow. Sorry. Hollow, if you react negatively to me, what I said, then it only proves that you're angry and depressed. So what you gotta do is you gotta be happy about this and take it like the funsies it is. Otherwise, my point is proven and I win. And if there's one thing you hate more than being talked about in my video, on this, when no one can tell me not to, is losing. So, by that logic, you just gotta reply to this video with lol. Hopefully that works. I'm so good at putting myself in fire. It's a talent, it really is. No, but depression. I personally have never been close to suicide. This is gonna sound very potentially offensive, okay, from what I am about to say. In my life, there've been times where I've been like, oh, I'm doing really bad at uni, I don't think I'm going to pass, and my YouTube channel is dying, and general doomsaying that isn't really true, but I feel like being mopey that day. I've never been truly the kind of core-shatteringly, it's not worth living depressed that I'm sure people who are genuinely depressed and kind of consider suicide feel. I've never felt that crushing want to not feel anything, that nothing is worth it anymore. So I can't really comment on what it's like to feel like that. I can only talk as an impartial person who has seen what depressive people go through, because I've known a few, and say my take on the whole notion of wanting to commit suicide or even considering. Now granted, I've never felt like this myself, so I can't fully emphasize, but from a sort of logical and more objective standpoint, this is my opinion on suicide in general. I don't think it's ever a viable option to commit suicide. Mainly because, and the reason people commit suicide is because they see it as a way out, as a way to get out of their problems, to stop feeling the way that they do. But the reason is, and this is tied to my view of death and what happens when you die, because when you die, that's it. There is nothing. You don't feel good, you don't feel bad, there is just nothing. You're not aware, ends like falling asleep and never waking up. You are done, you're gone. And in my opinion, obviously again, this comes from someone who's never felt that far gone, even feeling sad and feeling upset and feeling those kind of feeling worthless, to me, personally, because I value the life that you have been given, since you are so lucky to be alive, given that you had millions of chances not to be, as you were that one lucky chance that you were the life that was born, as opposed to the other millions of possibilities that it could have been, that throwing it away, it seems so wasteful at a pragmatic level, and that to me, all those negative feelings, you're still feeling something, you're still technically alive, you still have that spark, you're still thinking, breathing, experiencing the world and what it has to offer. Even if right now it's clouded by sadness, you're still experiencing that's the word now, and that to me is better than nothing. I would rather be upset than nothing. But obviously, again, this is from the perspective of never having experienced the crushing depression that I'm sure people who commit suicide do. I know they don't do it lightly. I know it obviously is a terrible way to feel, if they even consider doing that. But from my perspective, objectively, I would never, ever choose the finality of death, the nothingness, over anything, because at least anything is still something. You're still being alive, you're still feeling, no matter what that is, and I value that more than the nothing. And as a second level, there are always people who are willing to help you if you want to help yourself. That's the key. Someone who does not want to help themselves most of the time cannot be helped. My older brother has, let's just say, gone to the dark side, for a lighter way of putting it. He's got involved with some things he really shouldn't, and he has been effectively dead to most of the family. He only ever speaks to his mother, and that's only to try and get money. I'm not going to go into it in detail unless someone asks specifically, because I don't mind talking about it. It's just the whole story isn't relevant to the point I'm making, and he has been gone for a while. But the thing is, I know he still exists in this world, and I know there's still the potential for him to sort himself out and be the person that I used to know. I have not seen my older brother in 4 years, and my last memory of him was back when he was normal and him that I knew, and I'm so happy that that is the memory I have of him, as opposed to the kind of husk that he has become due to what he's got involved with. But I would still rather him be alive in that state, because it has the potential to come back, the potential to be a happy, normal human being again, than just be gone from the world, because that is truly a lot more upsetting. And you've also got to think about the people that you're leaving behind. 9 times out of 10, your family is more affected than, in fact, 10 times out of 10, you're dead, you don't care. When you kill yourself, think of the people that you leave behind, because that is the worst thing. If you are a parent with a child that is depressed and commits suicide, that is with you for the rest of your life. The crushing upsetness, the regret, the feeling that you could have done something and you didn't, that you missed the signs, that will never go away. There is no bond stronger than parent and child. And that happening to your child, and you even thinking you could have slightly done it, you will make the rest of your family's life awful if you kill yourself, because they're going to be so upset and regret for years and years. It's horrible. So I would feel selfish and terrible if I did that, because the people that I leave behind would be so affected by it. And that's generally how I look at it in a nutshell. I don't know if that's kind of insensitive of me, but that's how I view it all. So there you go. I'll go into it in more detail if people ask a question for more detail, but yes. There you go. So, because that's kind of a depressing question, no pun intended, I'm kidding, it's always intended to end on, we're going to end with one final question. How did you become so epically awesome? Well, it was the awesome gene that I was born with, and I started from the bottom, now I'm here. Alright everybody, my name has been Rage. This has been the first ever Don't Question It to return. I hope you enjoyed it. It's been a rather long one, but it's been ages, so why the hell not? If you would like to ask your own questions and literally ask anything, ragequestionit@gmail.com. It's in the description as well. Let them come. I will see you next time. Let's have a like for the return of the glorious Don't Question It, and subscribe for more. And goodbye, Figaro! I don't know why I could buy a figure. It's not. Fuck it.